Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new Facebook Live. We have been away from you guys for so long, and I'm so glad to be back. If you have gotten the time a little bit wrong, I apologize. We sent out the texts and the emails to everybody, and we didn't put the time on there. So we thank you for coming in and being a part of what we're getting ready to do here at Mac Capital Investment Group. Once again, we haven't seen each other for almost 6 months. And so we kind of revamped the thing. If you look at in back of me, we got a new live going here. We got so much to talk about. There's a lot that we're going to cover tonight, but mainly what we want to talk about is how to encourage yourself. How do you bet on yourself? You always hear me say that. Bet on yourself, bet on yourself, bet on yourself. And realistically, we live in a day and time where there's so much going on. There's so much turbulence. There's so much confusion. And people are just weighted down with just not knowing what the next step is. I hear people say my next why and my next adventure. But how does that look for you? How does that look for you putting that into your category? And so one of the things that we kind of shut everything down, kind of give you a little bit of update. We shut everything down about 6 months ago because we wanted to give you guys the platform and the information that I needed to give in a way that you guys could use and it can be user friendly to you. So me and the marketing team and some of the executives, we all came back, we sat down and we said, okay, we need to break this up into 3 different podcasts. So we're going to have the Bet on Yourself, which is going to be us teaching you about different things on how you can encourage yourself and how you can bet on yourself, how you can get up when everything is against you. How do you press through it? That's one thing. That's what this show is going to be about. And I'm going to be pretty much teaching this, and I might bring on some people to help or to define a specific topic that we're going to be talking about. Then we're going to have on Thursdays, we're going to have the real estate and credit piece. And what that's going to be is we're going to talk about credit. We're going to talk about real estate. We're going to talk about generational wealth. How do you get to the bag? How do you do certain things? And I'm going to do that for you. And then on Fridays, we're going to have on the business. And this is where we're going to bring in the traditional businesses that's in our community, that might be in your community, that's going to be talking about businesses that is thriving in your community and that you can make it if they made it. So like I said, I want to correct something. On Tuesdays, we're going to be talking about credit and real estate. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have been struggling to make ends meet, if you have been struggling to get ahead, and I know a lot of people are out there talking about credit and out there that's talking about real estate and out there that's talking about the different programs that's out there. But what we're going to do here at Bad Capital is I'm going to take you step by step, no questions asked, step by step of what real estate is, how to invest in the real estate. If you're looking to purchase a home, this is the place to be. If we're going to have Saturday classes again, if you have missed out on the Saturday classes, guess what? They are coming back. And the Saturday classes is free, and it's going to be for you to come in and look and find some homes. I know that there's realtors out there and there's people out there that saying there's no inventory. There's no inventory. Well, guess what? We have houses when you are ready to purchase. You come to the class. We can get you pre-approved. We can come in. You can get a home that you like. Right? Now, it might not be your dream home, but guess what? It's a home where you're not paying rent. So that's what's going to happen on this Saturday. You guys got to stay tuned to us to get more information about that. That's going to be on a Saturday. Okay. More or less it's going to be from like 12 to 2. So on Saturday, we're going to be doing that in about 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to have a credit education class, and you can come and get pre-approved, go look at the house, actually do the purchase agreement right then and there because the seller is going to be right there. We're going to hook you up. It's free of charge, no charge. So that's another thing that we're going to be doing. We want to impact our community by home ownership. Like I said, come Fridays, we're going to talk about business. And come Wednesdays, we're going to talk about how do you motivate yourself. And with everything that's going on, people are looking for something to gravitate to. They're looking for something to hold on to. They're looking for something to believe in. And guess what? I, I've talked to a lot of different people over the past 6 months. And the number one thing that people are telling me is that person in the mirror is the one who can encourage and get yourself out of that situation. So, one of the things we're going to do here going forward, we're going to show you step by step. I'm going to be an open book to you. I'm going to show you my life. And if you're trying to get money, if you're trying to learn how to become wealthy and have generational wealth, well, guess what? I'm going to take it step by step by step. And if you follow me, you can find this on Facebook, you can find this on YouTube. You're going to be able to take it step by step by step by step. And if you stay with me for a whole year, I guarantee you, your situation is going to be a lot better than what it is right now. So, without any further ado, today's topic is how do you encourage yourself during these troubled times? I know that COVID is over. People are saying it's coming back. We're ready to go into a political rampage. You know, who's going to be the next president? Who do you trust? We don't want to take a side, but what we want to do is get you to calm down and figure out what you can do to bet on yourself. This is what we always teach here at Mad Capital. What do I need to do to bet on myself? And we all go through trauma. We all go through trials. We all go through frustrations. We all go through setbacks. But what do you need to do to get up and get started again and make it happen for yourself? And yes, you're going to have the naysayers. You're going to have the people that doubt. You're going to have life situations. You're going to have all of those things. But what happens and what do you need to do? And what can you find inspiration in? So the first thing that I begin to understand that when you start to talk about betting on yourself, you know, that is a catchy phrase, bet on yourself, bet on yourself. And we look at it and we got a lot of motivational speakers, but what does that really mean? Well, to bet on yourself, first, you have to know who you are, you know, and a lot of times when we go to these seminars and we hear people talking, we leave this out. The first thing that you have to do is that you got to know who you are. Who are you? And what are you? You know, a lot of times when people come up to me and ask me questions, they say, Cepeda, that was a great show. I really like it. And da, 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 da. And they give me the long thing. And I appreciate all of the support that you guys have given me over the years of taking out the hour the day to come and listen to a guy like me. But when you actually know who you are, you can validate what you're doing. So know what you are. In order for you to know who you are, you have to know what your purpose is. Know that you have a purpose. You are one in a million. You, the person who is listening to me today, the person that you see every day in your skin, you are that person. You're one in a million. And guess what? Nobody can do what you do. Nobody in this world can do what you do. So you have to understand the first thing is that you have to know who you are. And then you got to know what your purpose is. What is your purpose? I know that people are out there saying, you know, I need to find my next why. Well, how do you know what your next why is if you don't know what your purpose is? So, and once you find what your purpose is, then you can find out what your why is. Then the third thing, life always deals with what you have not done. You know, people are always criticizing what you haven't done, how insignificant you are. What do you need to do? You know, the number one thing is start to dream. Start to dream. What have you dreamed about in the past 2 months, let's say 2 months, what have you dreamed about that you want to accomplish for yourself? What do you dream about? What gets you up in the morning? That's the key. What gets you up in the morning? Start to dream. And then once you know who you are, you're not this slum person that they say that you are. Then you know what your purpose is. You know that you're here for a reason. You're not here by accident, right? Then the third thing, you got to start to dream. One of the things that I had to learn in growing this business that I'm doing now, I had to dream. I had to become a dreamer again. Some things that happened in my personal life just got me to a point to where I just didn't dream no more. And then when you don't dream, then you have nightmares. You always think something is going to go wrong. You never think that everything is going to work in your favor. You just don't believe it's going to happen for you. Well, I'm here to tell you today, when you begin to bet on yourself and you begin to know who you are and you begin to know what your purpose is and you start to dream, that sends off some chemicals in some endorphins in your mind and in your brain, and your body says, you got this. And when your body starts to rise up, that means your chest comes out. Okay. A lot of times we're slumped over, but when you start to believe in yourself and you start to bet on yourself, one of the things that psychologists says is that confident people walk upright. They don't walk slumped over. They walk with their back straight. They walk with a sense of purpose. They walk with a sense of confidence. You have to believe that you can do this. Once you start to dream, then you got to do something, put it in action. A lot of times we just think about things and we don't put it in action. So what's the fourth thing we got to do? We have to create a vision board. See, we talk about these things, but they don't give you step by step on what you should do in order to be successful and to bet on yourself. Once you create a vision for yourself, that's you writing it down. It's telling your brain, it's telling your body, write this down, and this is something that you can measure yourself with. A lot of times we set goals for ourselves, right? And we treat goals just like when we, at the beginning of the new year, everybody sets a goal that we're going to lose weight. Well, 90% of the people don't keep a hold of those goals, right? We set goals. So when you begin to write the vision, that becomes a part of you. That tells your brain, that tells you to think about what you are getting ready to embark on. So when you start to create your vision, you begin to write it down. Your mind is telling your fingers to write this down. And when you write it down, your eyes can see it. So when you begin to see those things, guess what happens? You begin to act it out. And when you begin to act out those positive influences in your personal life, then guess what those create? You create habits for yourself. And that's just like what they're telling you on all of these motivational speakers. Think and grow rich, and positive thinking, and all of those things. Only thing they're telling you is that you have the ability to bet on yourself. You have that ability. Right? You don't have to go outside of it. God is giving you a certain amount of confidence, a certain amount of know-it-all that where you can look at that person in the mirror and start betting on you. Then the fifth thing you want to do is then you set the goals that's in line with your vision. Now you don't feel bad if you set a goal and you don't hit it. Why? Because it's a part of your vision, and your vision keeps you going. So if you fall short of your goals, you can make an audible. In football, when they think that the opponent knows what the play is, the quarterback, which is you are the quarterback of your own life. So when the quarterback sees that, hey, the opposing team knows the play, or he sees that he can take advantage of something, what he'll do, he'll call an audible. And that audible If it's ran correctly, it lets everybody knows that the play has changed. When is the last time you have told your team, or when is the last time that you have told yourself, hey, I need to call an audible. I need to get up a little bit earlier. I need to read a book. I need to start reading. I need to change jobs. I need to change friends. Some of us even need to change family. Well, you can't change your family, but some of us need to change the environment that we're in so that we can be better at what we do. My grandmother, when at the beginning of the year in the springtime, I was raised by my grandparents. And one of the things that my grandmother would do every year, she would have these plants all over the house. She had a green finger. And she would call me in there and she would like, hey, we ready to do our spring thing. And what she would do is take the plants, cut the edges and repot them, put them in bigger pots. What was she doing? She was pruning the plants so that they can be able to grow at a later date. Sometimes you got to get out of your situation, get out of the way, bet on yourself, start to dream, know that you have a purpose, right? And know who you are and change what you are doing. Change direction. And that will be enough to get you going. The sixth thing to do when you start to make change, you're going to delete negative influences of your mind. See, a lot of times we try to say we want to delete negative people, right? But that's not really what needs to happen. You need to change what your thought process is. What were you thinking? How was your thinking? Then when you change your mind, it's almost looking at the cup half full or half empty. What do you need to do? Are you looking at the cup half full or are you looking at the cup half empty? Other people just magnify what you already think of yourself. Many people come to me and say, Cepeda, you are not going to be a successful businessman. Or Cepeda, I don't like the way you do business. Well, guess what? I can take it two ways. I can say, hey, I need to delete you and get you away from me because you're negative. Or I can say, thank you for the criticism, learn from it, and move on. Because what they say to me does not hold value on what my outcome is. The only one who has control of my outcome is me. So when you start to bet on yourself, right, you are in control of your destiny. You are that person in the mirror. Have you ever thought of yourself as the one who's in control of that destiny? Guess what? You only have one body. You only have one eye, two eyes, unless you get a false eye or something like that. But you only have this body that you have one time. And guess what? The last time I checked, I have not gotten outside of this body yet. Now, I know people have out of body experiences and things of that nature, and I believe in that. But this body that I have to take care of it. I have to make sure that I can do what I need to do. So that means I had to get up. In order for my business to really start taking off, I had to start getting up early. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I was talking to an individual and he was like, and I was telling him about the show and, hey man, come and check it out. And he said, well, I understand about the show, but how are you going to be able to do all of those podcasts and how are you going to be able to do that and do mortgages? And I said, all of these things tie in together. But I said, and then I just went down step every hour that I do throughout my whole day. I kind of told him what I do. Well, when you start to create those habits and you start to have that vision, then your purpose and the reason to get up is very easy. Now, I don't like getting up first thing in the morning, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning where everybody's still asleep. But guess what? When you begin to set habits that is in line with your vision, that supports your purpose, and you know who you are, guess what happens? You become an impactful person, not only to you, you become an impactful person to your community, to your family, to your wife, to your job, to your employees, to your friends. You are maximizing what you're doing. Then the seventh thing you have to do is tell yourself it's okay to fail. It's okay to fail. It's okay for you not to be able to do some of the things that you thought that you was going to do. My mentor once told me this. He said, when you fail, you're either going to fall backwards or you're going to fall forwards. If you fall backwards, it's a sit up, and that deals with the muscles in your stomach. If you fall forward, it's a push up, and that's dealing with the muscles in your arms. And depending on how you fall, you can learn from it and become stronger and better from wherever you started. There's a lot of people that, I think what we've gotten caught up on in society is everybody wants to be a part of a winner. But they don't understand that those winners who we glorify today have went through a whole lot of struggle. So today I'm going to show you some people that 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 hit that we consider successful, but we don't understand what they did. Michael Jordan, here go a picture of Michael Jordan hitting the last second shot, right? And he's betting on himself. He is, if you see over there in the corner, it's 17 seconds left, and he's on a team full of all-stars. And he takes that last second shot. But did you know that Michael Jordan got cut from his high school basketball team? And he had to go through different camps, and he had to prepare himself when everybody else was out playing and goofing off. Michael Jordan was playing. He was shooting. And he became determined because he knew that he was not that kid that got cut from the basketball team. He knew that he had purpose. His parents put that in him. Then Michael Jordan started to dream that one day I'm going to hit a last second shot. This shot just didn't happen overnight. He started to dream. He started to create a vision for himself. I'm sure that many of the days that he would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and be running and taking thousands and thousands and thousands of shots before he decided, before the opportunity to present it for him to hit that last second shot. See, we like to be with winners. And I'm telling you today that you are a winner. You are a winner. You don't have to worry about a winner. You don't have to always question what you're doing. You're better than this. And that's what Michael Jordan began to tell himself. I'm better than this guy who got cut. Now, it also helped that he grew a little bit, but guess what? He started to dream. His height, there's a lot of tall people that don't make it, but Michael did. And we celebrate him today, and people pay a lot of money to see this guy overcome. People will see you overcome. The second person we're going to talk about is Roger Bannister. He's the first person to break the mile in under 4 minutes. Now, this is very unique. Roger Bannister running a mile under 4 minutes. Back then, that was a big deal, huge deal. We today, that record has been broken 1,740 something times. What has happened? Roger was the first one to tell himself that I can do this. I got this. He knew who he was. He knew what his purpose was. He started to dream. He created a vision. He trained for it. And guess what? When he did it, a lot of other people can do it. And guess what? When you start to see that you can do something that somebody else can't, guess what happened? Guess what happens? Other people will see your pain, see you overcome something. And guess what? They'll start to say, if he can do it, I can do it. Do you have that ability on people? Yes. People are waiting for you to start betting on yourself. I know that everybody likes to see the success, but I'm here to tell you today that you can do it. And when other people see you overcome, guess what they're going to do? They're going to feel like if you can do it, I can do it, because realistically, you're no better than them. Yes. Kimberly Harvey, she says, I'm going to dream big. Yes. Yes. And she also said, that's another one. Life also deals with what you have not done. Yes. So people are looking for somebody who they can believe in. They're looking for somebody who they can trust. They're looking for somebody who has overcome. Yes, you have to fall forward. You're doing push-ups. So, then, people are looking for somebody who they can believe in. Buster Douglas is another one. We know that Buster Douglas knocked out Mike Tyson. But his why, his purpose was he had just had a tragedy of losing his mom prior to the fight. She never saw him become the heavyweight champ of the world. But Mike Tyson was a bad dude. But there was a guy who believed in himself that says, regardless of what millions of people are saying, I believe that I can beat Mike. Mike Tyson was undefeated. He was the heavyweight champ. He was polarizing. He was actually scary. But this guy had belief in himself to know that, hey, listen, I can do this. How many times have you told yourself you can do this? How many times have you said, hey, maybe everybody else can't do it, but I know I can? You would be surprised on as many people that has told me that I could do it. There's been the same amount of people that have said that I couldn't. You have to believe that you are the reason why you're here. You have purpose. With COVID and everything that's going on, I'm here to tell you that you have purpose and you got this. This is what this whole show is all about. Usain Bolt. And we're going to talk about some of the other things that you got to do. It says, tell yourself it's okay to fail, okay, and learn from it. And then the last thing, and this is where your mind has to change. You have to set your mind to win and be willing to pay a price. There's no free lunch to betting on yourself. And Usain Bolt, I was listening to a podcast that he was on, and Usain Bolt said this. He said, I trained for 4 years for 9.58 seconds. I trained for 4 years for 9.58 seconds. Think about it. When is the last time that you have worked hard for something? When is the last time that you have pushed yourself to the limit and stuck to it? For 4 years, this man trains every day. Every day he runs. He conditions his body for 4 years. And in 9.8 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it's over. He trained for 4 years for that. Are you willing to pay that type of price for what? Because you know who you are? If Mr. Bolt did not know who he was, if he didn't know that he had a purpose, and if he did not dream, and if he didn't vision himself winning the Olympics, And if he didn't set a goal to win the Olympics, and I'm sure that he had negative things that went on around him, setbacks, uh, ankle, people saying he couldn't do it, too tall, too short, not a good starter, all of those things, not eating right. He had to eat right. Some of us need to change our diets. Some of us need to change what we watch on TV. We have a lot of things that affect our brain. We have our fingers that send messages to our brain that tell us it's too hot. We have our feet that takes us places that will take us and tell us, hey, this is too hot. Our feet, some get hot on your feet. You can watch something and it sends message to your brain and says this is good or bad. You can feel things. What are you doing to get you closer to what your destiny is? Hussein, I'm sure that he had many of lonely nights, but it all was for 9.58 seconds. You got to learn to pay the price for what you want. Yes, it sometimes is hard. We're living in where we want everything right now. I hear people say it all the time. Where's the bag? Well, I want my bag right now. Well, when have you put forth the effort to even try to get to where you're trying to go? When is the last time you got up at 6 o'clock in the morning, or 4 o'clock in the morning, at 5 o'clock in the morning for the purpose of you getting better? Not because of a job, but because you're trying. When is the last time you read a book? Are you a part of a book club? The research says that people that read are a lot more wealthy and they're a lot more smarter and they live a more healthy life. When is the last time you said, I'm not going to eat foods that's going to cause my body to have harm? Have you disciplined yourself? Whenever the last time you said, I'm going to get out of the circle that I've been working in and get involved in a bigger circle? What are some of the things that you have done that cause you to change the way you want to do things? Financially, a lot of us have talked about, generational wealth. And when we have our classes, are you going to show up to learn how to fix your credit so that you can purchase a home, so you can stop renting, so you can have a better lifestyle for you and your kids? Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to pay the price to get to where you want to go? And lastly, I'm going to talk about something that is dear to me, is baseball. The average person that's a baseball player, he comes up to the plate and 250 is his batting average. So that means that every 10 times he come up to the plate, he's going to go back dejected. 80, he only is going to have a 250 chance of doing it. If you got a 250, that means 2.5, right? So the other 8, you're going to go home losing. So that guy who gets up, he swings, he goes back to the sit with his teammates. He goes in, swings, strikes out, hits a pop ball, goes back to his teammates. And guess what? One time he hits the ball and he hits it out of the park. And then that's when his whole team, they get up, he jogs around the bases, and his whole team gets up and they celebrating. They give him all type of high fives. But they don't give him the high fives when he strikes out. They might say, good job, keep going. But when he hits that home run, he's, yes, this is it. But guess what? The next 8 times that he gets up, he's more than likely going to be out. Are you willing to pay the price to get to where you want to go? If you're willing to pay that price, this is the place for you. We're going to have encouraging things on our show for you. Bet on yourself. I always say in the previous podcast, the cavalry's not coming. The creek is rose and the levee is giving way. It's up to you to save you. You have to start betting on yourself. We broke this up into 3 different shows for you. If you are in financial crisis, you need to come to us. Let us work with you. Let us help you become a homeowner. If you want to learn how to create generational wealth, you need to be locked in on Thursdays. On Tuesdays. You need to be locked in on Tuesdays. If you would like to become a homeowner, we're going to be having some classes that's going to be working on your credit. There's people that say there's no inventory. There's people that saying that the market we're going to go into a recession. No, this is the time that you bet on yourself. This is the time that you can encourage yourself. This is the things that you need to do. And you can do it right through us. If you don't want to do nothing else, follow us on Facebook, get on YouTube. If you missed the show, go on YouTube. Don't be selfish. Tell somebody about it because they might encourage you just like somebody encouraged me. And then when you are able to stand on your own 2 feet, I want you to go and like us on Facebook. Mariah asked the question, what are some of the steps I can take right now to help my transition on betting myself? So the first thing you got to do, Mariah, is know who you are. Know that you have a purpose. Know that, that other people does not define you. You define yourself. Okay? So know who you are. Second thing, know that you have a purpose. What is your purpose in life? What is you here for? And then what are you dreaming about? What are you starting to dream about? Start to dream. When is the last time that you have told yourself that, I got this, whatever state that you're in? And this is the beauty of betting on yourself. You can start right where you're at. You don't have to wait. You can start right where you're at. Then once you do that, you know who you are, you know what your purpose is, you start to dream, then you create your vision. And then once you create your vision, you're almost there. Then the next thing you got to do is set goals that's in line with your vision. A lot of us just set goals to set goals, but you set goals that's in line with your vision. A couple weeks ago, I was in a great problem. I had a serious issue. My back was against the wall. I had reached out to everybody for help and nobody could help me. And then a still voice came and said, Cepeda, who are you? Well, I'm a CEO I'm CEO of MA&D Capital. I work with Power Lending. Okay. Know what is your purpose for this? Okay. Then once I found the purpose, then I started to go to sleep because I started to dream. I started to dream about me being financially set. And then once I did that, I was able to create my vision. And when I created my vision, the doors started to open and I began to walk step by step into what I was doing. But what happens is a lot of times what we do is that we allow our circumstance to dictate what we can and what we can't do. This is where the change comes. You have to bet on yourself and create that environment where everything you're seeing, everything you're hearing, everything you're touching in your environment is moving you closer to what your vision is. Everything should be moving towards your vision. So that's the advice that I give you. Move towards your vision. Start to dream big. And if you fall, don't worry about it. Get up. You're either going to do a push up or a sit up, but you got to get up and keep going because you're following your vision. Sometimes you got to get rid of people. Sometimes you got to change your diet. Sometimes you got to change your job. Sometimes you got to make hard decisions. But whatever it is, you got to be willing to pay the price for you to be successful. You can't do it based on somebody else. You have to do it based on what you are. I often say, this guy right here, Mr. Bowl, right? He was a track runner, right? But guess what? He couldn't if he didn't train for 4 years, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't run a 9.58. He had to train for 5 years. So that means that you have to pay a price to get to where you want to be. Be willing to pay the price. Yes, you're going to have failure. Yes, you're going to have people that doubt you. Yes. You're going to have all of that. But one of the things that you can do is you can know that no matter what nobody says or what nobody does, that you going to be able to achieve your goal. This man trained for 4 years for 9.58 seconds. Michael Jordan, who we celebrate, everybody want to be like Mike, but don't nobody want to get cut from the basketball team. The humiliation, there's something about when somebody says that you're not good enough that just gut wrenching and takes something out of you. But I'm here to tell you that when you begin to bet on yourself, know who you are, know that you are a dreamer. And when people criticize you and says, hey, you're just a dreamer, you don't never accomplish nothing, allow your dream to come to fruition. If you keep dreaming long enough, and if you're willing to put forth the effort, there's millions of testimonies of people who just believe and wouldn't quit. Don't be a quitter. Hold on to what you believe in. Know that it will come to pass. And when it comes to pass, that's not the time to gloat. That's the time to bring somebody else on. And I've often thought of, the crab barrel effect. A lot of us know of the crab barrel effect where everybody's pulling you down, right? Well, let's look at it totally different. Let's look at it from a different point of view. Don't everybody want to be a part of somebody who's getting ready to get out of here? Wouldn't you want to grab a hold of somebody who was getting ready to get out? Yes. So you just got to be strong enough, like the young man who was running the mile. You got to be strong enough, like Roger Bannister, to inspire 1,700 people to run a mile under 4 minutes. And nobody could do it before he did it. Is he any better than anybody else? No. He was just the first one that believed that that was his purpose, is to inspire a whole generation. We have high school kids that run a mile under 4 minutes today. So the only thing you have to do is bet on yourself. Believe in what you're doing. Don't allow the naysayers. Don't allow other people. Don't allow the crabs to stop you from getting to where you want to be. Only thing you got to look at is if they're grabbing a hold to you, trying to pull you back, just be strong enough to be able to pull them out with you. That's a different way of looking at it. We have often talked of the crabs where people are pulling you back. Well, when people start pulling you back, just be strong enough to pull them out, because everybody wants to be with a winner. So start winning. Second thing, ladies and gentlemen, we have some great things. If you have any questions, we got about 5 minutes, and I can answer any of your questions. That the listeners, I ask that you share this with somebody. Don't be selfish. Share it onto your page. Put it into your network. I ask that everybody go to YouTube, go to Cepeda Jackson, and you'll pull up all of the things. Subscribe to our channel. We're going to be giving you some goodies on our channel. If you subscribe, we're going to be giving you some goodies, some insight of different things, of places where I'm going to be. We're going to start speaking around the city. We're going to be doing a lot of generational wealth things. Within the next week or so, we're going to let you know our network night is coming back. Mariah Jackson, which left a comment today, she's a part of Mad Capital. She's going to be heading up our network night. If you have a business and you're looking for funding, you need to call us, inbox me, let me know. We can get you some funding for your business. If you have a business has been in business for over a year, we got some banks that is lending, which doesn't require for you to file your taxes. We understand that a lot of people have just not been able to do it because of COVID. They just haven't generated the income. You need to call us, inbox us. If you're trying to create generational wealth for you and your family, you need to become a homeowner. You got to stop looking to rent all the time. I understand that you got to rent sometime to get to where you want to be. That's not what I'm saying. But we have some tools to where you can come in and you can become a homeowner and you can get your credit straight. The only thing you got to do is show up. We're going to be giving you some information on Tuesday night, talking about generational wealth. We're going to be having a lot of information talking about estate planning. Insurance agents is going to be on here. I've really got some good connections, and they're going to be able to help you out a whole lot. Okay. The only thing we ask that you do is tell somebody about us. We got 3 different shows. When I met with my staff, they said, we got to break this up. We're covering too much. The people want to get a little bit more. So what we're going to do is we're going to have Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays. So Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to skip Thursday because Thursday I'm going to have the classes. We're going to start having classes. If you are a business owner, want to know how finance, if you want to get involved with buying and selling properties, this is the place where you're going to be. Knowing how to set up your company. We're going to have an accountant there. We're going to have a one-stop shop. We're going to have hard money lenders there, bankers there. Everybody is going to be there. Only one who's going to be missing is you. If you are serious about getting out of the rat race, this is the time where you're going to be able to do it. Yes, there's always going to be obstacles and challenges. I have obstacles and challenges. Today, just example, I had everything planned and everything set, but guess what? Things didn't go away to plan. I had to make an adjustment. I had to call an audible. You might have to call an audible if you're going to get out of this rat race. You know, you just need to just come in. We're here to help you. Once again, I always say the cavalry's not coming. The creek is rose. The levee is giving way. It's up to you to save you. You have to bet on yourself. Like I said, if you missed this, you can go back and find us on Twitter. You can go back and find us on Facebook, Bet on Yourself, or you can go to my personal Facebook page, and it's there also. And you can go to LinkedIn. If you have a LinkedIn account, type in my name. Guess what? It'll pop right up. If you have Twitter or Instagram, we are on all of those social platforms. We did this for you. So you can't say, hey, I didn't get it or I didn't know where to get it. It's there. Every time I get on, you can set your dial. Every time I get on, it'll pop onto your phone. You don't necessarily have to be in front of a computer. Only thing you got to do is log in, get on my Facebook page, and voila, you're here. Tell somebody about us. Tell somebody about it. If you would like personal training, personal coaching, how to buy real estate, how to buy a house, inbox me, okay? Or you can give me a call, 317. Let me put that out there. 317-847-2810. 317-847-2810. So that's my personal number. You can actually get that information 317-847-2810. You can call and schedule an appointment if you're looking for a coach or if you're looking for somebody to help you get into home ownership. We have a great staff. If you don't speak English, you speak Spanish. I have a guy that's in Texas. He speaks Spanish. I have some people here that speak Spanish also. We can help you translate it. We can put you into our system and we will follow up with you. Once again, it's up to you to take advantage of what you're doing. Now, guess what? You might know somebody tonight that needs your help. They sent out an SOS. They need your help. Allow yourself to be a blessing and encourage somebody else. Think about it. When Mr. Bannister broke the 4-minute mile, he inspired a whole new generation to go out and run better than a 4-minute mile. Have you had that same effect on the people around you? Come on and let's be great together. Let's bet on ourselves. Today, I chose to bet on myself. Today was the first day that we're going to be doing 3 podcasts. I was terrified. But guess what? I bet on myself. I created some good habits. And guess what? Today was the day that was the beginning of the journey. If you want to see what success looks like close up, firsthand, follow us here at Mad Capital Investment Group. You're going to see us grow. You're going to see us fall. You're going to see us have successes. You're going to see us do the right thing all the time. Hey, it's a new day. I look different from when last time. We got a whole new view. I'm excited about the marketing that we're getting ready to do. Today was just the beginning. Next week, we're going to have the same thing, but next week we're going to have something special in store for you. It's going to be a new look. Betting on yourself. If you have struggled with depression, if you have struggled with, isolation, don't know where the next door is going to be opened up to you, you need to be locked in. You need to tune in so that you can learn how to bet on yourself. Sometimes you just need a little boost. Sometimes it's not about how many people you got. Sometimes it's about the quality of people that you have around you. So if you just need a boost, if you need to be encouraged, tell somebody it feels good to you. And guess what? They will encourage you to stay on track because they're going to be like, hold up, did you listen to what Cepeda was talking about? And then you guys can have dialogue. And next thing you know, you guys are talking positive about something that is relevant. And that is the first step of betting on yourself, surrounding yourself with people, like-minded people that is going in the same direction as you are going into. Join the wave. Tell somebody, share it. Make it your business to bring one person next week onto the show and listen for, like I said, if you're not a homeowner, if you got a business, you need to be locked in, tuned in. We can help you. Inbox me, give me a call, leave me a text. Guess what? We will, between me and my staff, somebody will get back with you. I probably won't, but my staff will get back with you. And then when we find out what your needs are, we're going to make sure that you're in the best position possible. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I'm so excited that you are taking out time. I've heard what you guys have said. The marketing team, the executives here at Mad Capital Investment Group, we are excited to be back in front of you, more equipped, more powerful, with more information to where you can come in and take advantage of all the resources that we have. Because guess what? We are betting on ourselves. And guess what else? The cavalry is not coming. The creek is rose. The levee is giving way. It's up to you to save you. Once again, till next week, keep betting on yourself. And don't forget, go to YouTube, subscribe. We got some goodies for you. Till next week, keep betting on yourself.